Hi everybody, I'm doing great and I hope you're doing the same. So I'm in the shopping mall of all places where I see a sign for a vintage museum. So I said, why not? And I head in there and I start looking around and I think, well, this is nice, but I personally don't have any connection to these things. But the more I looked around, the more I realized that if you just change the names on the products and the people's faces in the pictures, that this is exactly what I grew up with. And it's also the kind of thing that when I had my eBay store, I'd be looking for. And so it kind of became fun to see the similarities in the way our lives were, despite the fact that they were living in the communist era and they were our supposed enemies, etc., etc. Look, just look at the stuff. I mean, it just proves the point that we're really all the same when it comes down to it. And I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. Thanks, and take care, everyone.